Hello there. Well, I'm back in the garage and I'm getting ready to do another install. So, here in Arizona, it's pretty hot. It's summertime and I'm doing a lot of projects on the inside because I don't want to be out there in 105-degree weather. It's going to last a few more weeks, then I'll be back out on the trail. So, however, I am taking advantage of this time because I want to be able to do some cool installs. I've already installed the light bar up there, which you can see, and I have another video on how I installed that. But today I have something actually I've been really wanting to do for a long time, and that is a turn signal installation. So to be street legal, you have to have turn signals, or you have to use your old-fashioned arm signals, and we all know what those are like, right? Well, at least maybe people my age know what those are. Anyway, so I got kind of tired of that. So I talked to Kemimoto, and they were so kind to send me out a turn signal kit so I can do a review of them and an install, which I'm going to do now. All right, first things first, I'm going to show you what we have in the box here. Right now it looks like just a big mess of wires, but I'm going to make sense of all of it here pretty soon. So we're just going to start off with, comes with plenty of zip ties, which is nice. I'll be using those. Comes with a little bit of hardware. It looks like some self-locking screws, some little attachments there, electrical connectors. Here's the control box. So this control box is basically controls all of the signals. So this right here is going to write out to the signals. And then on the other side you have this right here, which is fused, and it's going to hook directly up to the battery. I'm going to hook mine up to a switched connection, so when I turn the key off, I don't accidentally leave my signals turned on. And then here you have two toggle switches. You have your turn indicators, your horn, and your hazard. So that's that bundle. So let's move this out of the way. Then I'm going to move over to, you have a license plate holder with the lights underneath, which is wired, which is really nice. Then all these here are the turn signal indicators. So you have your left, right, front, and left and right rear, and everything is right here. So one thing that's nice about these is when I go to do the install, I can undo this, unplug it, and I can install this right here through the body. And then I can, after that's all done, then I can reconnect it and then run the rest of the wires. And as you see, there is tons of wire here, so I don't think there's going to be any issue with running short on cable. Here's the instruction manual. Tells you everything that there is you need to know. It does say 15 to 30 minute installation. I don't know about that, so we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to take you step by step along the way. So I have a Polaris Razor Trail S 1000. It's basically the same as an XP 1000, but it's 4 inches narrower. Everything else is the same. This is just a little bit narrower. They call it the trail model, so it can fit in some pretty good tight spaces. So first thing I'm going to show you is where I'm going to mount the front turn signal lights. And so I have this brush guard here. So I would normally put like the turn signal lights maybe here, but I think it's going to get blocked. So what instead I'm going to do is I'm going to install them, say, right about here. Now they're not going to sit up very high once I get them installed, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. So I'm going to install them here and then over there. So that's what I'm going to do on the front, and now let's move to the back. So back here, you can see the license plate right down here. I don't know that their license plate mount is going to work perfect, so I have to work through that problem here in just a second. I can put it on there, but it'll hang down and maybe cover the muffler a little bit, so I need to work through that one and find out whether that'll be a problem. Now, as far as the turn signals, I was kind of looking at the tail light and figuring out where is the best place to put it. So I think what I've decided was I'm going to put it right about here. And the reason it's going to go here is because from the inside, that's probably the easiest place to mount it, to put them in there and then to run the wires. If I put it up here, I've got to deal with that situation. So I'm going to probably put them in that area right there. I think that's going to give me plenty of space. Okay, so I measured out exactly where I want these lights on both sides on the front. And I'm going to just drill a quick pilot hole here. I already drilled a little teeny pilot hole. I just wanted to make it a little bit bigger. Now it needs to be a 19-inch hole. So I have this guy here, and it goes up to 3/4, which is the same as 19 inches. Or I'm sorry, 19 millimeters. So I'm just going to take this and ream it right out. Okay, so what you want to do now is you want to take this little rubber grommet off of the light. Then you're going to run this end through, all the way through, and you're going to push this little rubber grommet into the hole, 19 millimeter. First, feel from below everything is nice and snug, and then you cinch this in. You can kind of feel it get right into place. And that is a nice firm fit. It's not going anywhere. So I'm going to do the other side and then move to the back. So now I'm in the back. You see I've already drilled kind of a big pilot hole. And I was going to go out further out here, but with the size hole I need, I was a little bit worried about the tolerances. So I decided to go right off this corner, right here, and then straight in the middle. And I've already checked on the inside. There's nothing on the inside that's going to interfere with my drilling. So I will make this hole. There we go. Nice and clean hole. And then now I'm going to do the same process with this. So I'm going to take the rubber grommet off, run the wire through, put the grommet in till it's nice and flush, and as you see, just perfect on either side. And you take the light, you push it in. I like it, looks good. And then this is going to plug into the wires that we're going to run up to the front. So that's done. I'll do the other side and then go to the next step. So now I'm inside on my dash area here. And you see that I just happen to have 2 spots left open. I've got my whip lights, I got my overhead lights up above, 4-wheel drive, high beams. Now this is the old horn, so I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to work this, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move some of these over, and I'm going to have the turn signal here. And I don't use my horn very much at all, or hazard, so I'm going to probably put the turn signal here. I'll probably put the horn and hazards over there, and then keep everything else pretty much the same. I'm going to have to move maybe something over just a little bit, but those are pretty easy to move. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start tearing the dash apart, and when I get ready for the next step, I'll let you know. What I did here is I just took out the old horn. It didn't work anyway, and I'm going to take you up front and show you how I got it out. And then I'm going to take this new switch, and you just basically put it right through here, and it actually snaps in super easy. After you get it started, you just give it a nice push, and it fits right into place. Right, left. And then the other one I have here, I'm going to put over here to this side. So what I'm going to do is you can just reach right over and you can pop this out. Comes right out. Super simple. And then you get the right orientation. And then you just thread this one through. And we're going to hook all that stuff up later. But you just thread this one through and you do the same thing. Now it feels just a little bit snug when you start, but it'll go. There you go, nice and snug. So you have your hazard, and that's going to be the horn. So on the inside, you see I've got these connectors. So I've got one, and I've got two right here. And they're color coded, so I'll know which one goes to which. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the firewall. There's a little gasket area down there, a grommet, I guess I should say, that I can run it through and then connect all the wires. So that's pretty much it for here. I have installed the horn, which is right here. I bolted it down and I ran the wires to it. And then this wire goes through the dash firewall up into underneath the glove box. I've routed the blinkers, the actual blinker lights. So those are here. I still need to tie them down, obviously. Those are routed on both sides. And then on the other side, I have it marked right and left, so I know that I got them in the right spot. So really, the only thing I have left to do up here is just tie all the wires down and then hook up the power. I'm not going to do that till the end. So everything up here other than organizing the power is done. So I ended up taking this whole center console out so I could run the turn signal, the rear turn signal cables back the way I have some other stuff wired. There might have been other ways to do it, but this is what I chose. Now if you look up there to the top, that's the next mess. So let me get a close-up of that so I can show you what I have to do there. So this is going to all go underneath the glove box in the dash. And there's plenty of room in there. I just got to figure out how to get it all wired nicely so it's not a big mess. And I still do have to plug in the front turn signals, but that's just easy. That's just plugging them in. So that's going to be my next step. And then once I get everything done and put back together, I'll kind of show you how I have stuff routed. Real quick, I will show you down here that I have this routed. Still have those zip ties I got to tie off, but you can see how I have it routed right there, and it goes right along, and it's going to go up through the back into the wheel wells, and I'll show you those here in a little bit. So let me show you what I've accomplished so far. So this is under the hood, and I got everything wired. I've got the horn in place. Everything kind of tucked away nice and neat. So that part is looking good. Now let's move to the inside. So the inside is not quite as tidy. There was a whole bunch of leftover wire that I've got it tied up as best as I could in here. I have these pieces here that are a little bit loose, but I don't think that's going to cause any problems. So I'm going to keep that the way it is. Now this was a little tricky here. There was really nowhere to attach that wire and keep it out of the way. I think maybe I could get some sticky stuff and sort of attach it to the blue frame there, but instead I've got it up to the roll bar. Looks basically the same on both sides. Then in the back, it's kind of hard to tell, but you see a black and white wire there. Well, those aren't the wires, but it's on a similar location, and it runs up through the back, and you saw how I ran it through the floorboard, and then it comes up to this area here where you can see how it's kind of tied along there with zip ties, and then right into the back. And that's basically the same on both sides as well. All right, so there you have it, the Kemimoto blinker install. The instructions said 15 to 20 minutes. I don't think so. It took me quite a bit longer. But I don't have to use hand signals anymore. The quality of the parts were amazing. So everything that I get from Kemimoto so far has been great. And I'm not just saying that, it really is true. So I think that if you're interested in a turn signal kit, this definitely is one that you might want to pick up. It is a little bit of an install as far as the wiring goes. The actual wiring is plug and play, so that part's easy. It's just the routing of the wires. So the routing of the wires is a little bit difficult, but for the most part, just plugging it in, hooking it up, that part was pretty simple. Good quality materials. Hopefully it'll last a long time. I don't have any doubt. So that's it. Thank you. My name is Pat Lowe, and this is P. Lowe's Adventures.